Yeah, it is. It's really exciting. There's lots of people taking pictures this time. There weren't last time. No one knew what it was. So so it's great. It's great to be here. It's great that this series is still so popular. It's been so long since the first series was on. So it's an honour, really.
I just think you can't hear the other actor. You're this close and you can't hear what they're saying. So what do? Do you raise the levels so you're shouting at the person that close, or do you just concede and go, we fixed it in the studio? Which is kind of a sad thing to do, because you lose that emotion, so you have to try and find that the other person. It's the weirdest thing, and it's usually quite an emotional scene if we take it to the beach or to the side of a cliff. So that's weird. But you have to do it, and you have to get it right. I mean, we don't have another day usually to go back there. I mean, time is money, all that kind of things. That's odd.
And there was that scene on the cliff where we were literally squeezing each other's hands to say when to speak because we couldn't hear each other.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
And then you still have to try and keep that emotion and not make it look like it's some crappy panto or whatever. You know?
It's never going to like that.
No, it's not going to work.
No.
Well, that's what makes him fun,
right?
Isn't it? I mean, that's why he feels like a real man to me, not just this staple, iconic figure. This Robin Hood kind of guy. He feels real. He is flawed. He makes fundamental, terrible mistakes and doesn't even know how to apologise for them properly. And until he sees that Demelza is upset, he's going, "Oh crap! I got to do something about this. Maybe I did. Maybe I mucked up. I mean, I don't know, but I do it all the time. I mean, but he does learn, and I think he accepts that in himself. And a lot of time has passed, and you can see him getting better with these things, better with Demelza, but fundamentally, I mean, he's a dude who mucks up and makes mistakes. I mean, who wants him to be benevolent all the time?
I don't think we've ever discussed. We've never called him a hero. We've
we
never
haven't.
actually used that word with regards to him. We've always said he was flawed, and that there's loads of things that actually you want to hit him for.
Of course, but that's I think that's why we love him. If he was just a hero, if he was, why would we? It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't feel real. And it wouldn't be Ross.
And is that fair?
Yeah, but I think that's what real marriage is, and I think that is why people love them, is that they have a very realistic relationship, and she tells him when he's being an idiot. So
I mean, would she love the Francis Poldark? The guy who's overly attentive, possibly, or would do anything for her, and is more tuned in, more engaged. I don't know, but I think most people here probably would. How do I prepare? Well, I was. This time around, it was just. It's just physically. I mean, I've taken the summer off. I haven't worked. Last year, I did maybe 3 or 4 jobs or something, and I came in a bit tired, maybe underprepared, and that was. I was a bit burnt out. I didn't think I would be, and I was a bit surprised. And it took me a while to kind of get back on track again. That probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. And this year, I feel well rested up. I mean, I've taken like 3 or 4 months off, and I've travelled, I've seen friends. I was in Dublin last week with a bunch of our mates from Fairhouse, sailing down the River Shannon on James Cannon's Stag Night. I hadn't seen these guys in 15 years, and I got to do things like that just normal good things. So now it's just back into training to make sure I fit the costumes and stuff like that, and that I look like Ross again. So I'm getting back into that, reading the scripts, just hearing the voice, just going through the scripts and getting my head around them. So, just makes it easier when you finish work on a Tuesday and you go home and you look at your lines that you're probably already on them a little bit. You're really familiar with it. So all that's happening. But no, the early, all the finding the voice and, finding the character and just all of those kind of things would have happened maybe first time around. That was me really kind of fossicking to figure this guy out. I mean, it's a nice place to come back in as an actor to walk into series 3. Having shot, like 19 episodes or something, whatever we've done. How many have you done so far?
18.
18, yeah, knew that. Sounds cringy because it's nothing to do with method or anything like that. It's not like staying in character and having to shake this guy off before I go home or anything like that. But it is a fact that I'm probably Ross Poldark more than I'm Aidan Turner in those 6 or 7 months. I mean, by definition of how many hours I spend on set in his clothes, and usually, when I'm not on set, I'm learning the lines for the next day, or maybe there's a speech in 2 or 3 days, or maybe rehearsing something. So, I mean, I'm probably him more than me during the day. So there is something. Sometimes you can. you can have a few days where you're probably doing very emotional scenes, and you might go home and you might be just a bit weird with somebody or whatever, and then they've noticed a shift, and just a circumstance, you might tell them you've been doing these scenes. They go, I knew there was something up with you. You've been a bit, that's happened quite a bit, and happens with a lot of actors, and it's not being that precious, I'm an actor, I'm method, it's all about, it does hang around you, it's bound to.
I think there's a massive moment still between Ross and Elizabeth that we have to contend with, and I think that's incredibly trying for Demelza. Also, we start the series they've still only just lost their child, so it's important that you pick up sensitively from where you left off, and Ross is being tried, so there's a lot for her to deal with, but I think the main thing is real life marriage and this other woman that just won't go away. So, yeah, I'd say that was the hardest thing. Definitely, and I read the books to see what's happening, because sometimes I get too excited and can't wait for the scripts, but yeah, it's often shocking, and I often turn around to you and go, what? No! So, yeah, it's going to be
sometimes I read the script, but I just don't take it all in because I'm stupid, so when I read it again at the read-through, and I go, oh my God, this is happening, this is brilliant! And they're exciting moments for me, and then third time around, I can also get that sometimes too.
Wow.
From the same script. Living here, mate.
Yeah. Wow.
That may have been my suggestion, actually. I don't remember it. Oh God, I don't know the truth behind that. I don't know if Debbie wrote that in or not.
Do you mean in the second series?
Yeah.
Topless mining.
Yeah.
Do you mean
the
the
first
second
one?
series or the first?
The second one, where.
The mining.
Yeah, the
mining
mining. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. They're all the miners. It's pretty hot underground. It's really realistic.
It's real hot.
It really is. Yeah.
I don't know. You just oil yourself up and get over it.
Because you talked about in an interview over the weekend how much fun you had, particularly in the love scenes. You said you have to amuse yourself.
She
did.
She said it was fun.
See?
Clearly, she was joking.
Well, let's find out.
I was explaining how it's like a kind of hilarious dance routine.
Yeah.
In which we have a conversation saying, Aidan, where are you going to put your hand? Like,
Yeah.
You can't put it there. No, because...
Try the other hand. What about now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's go with that.
Say, no,
Can we get a mark for that
I
hand?
don't want the camera there because I don't want him to see that side of me. So, it's really unglamorous, but it's very funny. Yeah, but I think we just have a laugh, don't we?
We just get on with it.
Yeah. There's always an array.
It's like the real thing. It's really awkward.
Yeah.
What's more fun, a love scene with Demelza or a fight scene with George?
Oh wow! What's more fun?
Yeah, for you.
Be careful, Aidan.
I think I'd take George on this one.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that. My parents are in the audience. There was nothing difficult about that scene.
But that was quite early on in our shoot as well, wasn't it? Like that's the first time as actors that we kissed, wasn't it? not that that would be awkward or weird. If I just started digging a hole, yes. That's what happens when I can't see you in my peripheral vision. I say stupid things. I honestly, difficult.
One way of making a headline.
Oh, mate, I know, right? Shit. Sorry about that. I don't know. Difficult is a funny word. I mean, I don't find anything difficult or challenging necessarily. No, apart from that scene, I'm really bad at recalling things like that. I mean, obviously the scene that we shot, that we already spoke of.
The singing scene made me cry. Like, that was terrifying.
But that was your first.
yeah,
that was like your first
First
day.
day,
And it was.
thanks, Damien.
It was
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So I don't
No,
because
I
that
wish I
was
had a better
such
answer
an
for you.
important scene.
Can't remember. I do remember that scene being quite tough, but I can't think of anything else. Hi. I am interested in that in that realm. I like lenses, and I like to see what the director has in mind and how he develops shots, and I love all the gear, I love the lighting stuff, and I want to find out which trace does what, and I'm just interested in that, not just from my aspect, but I'm just keen on it. But then I work with the directors and I see how much work they have to do. It's not pretty. I mean, they're under crazy time constraints, usually budgetary things, and they need to compromise a lot, you know. Every director, not just in TV, but feature film too, it doesn't really matter about budgets. There's time things, there's actors pull out. You just got to compromise a lot. So your idea gets changed and warped, and then 6 months later or a year later, your name comes up and people, you know, I might find that difficult. The compromise would be hard, but that's what really great directors do. I don't know if I could do it that well. I think I'd like to direct theatre. I'm more of a control freak. I'd like to. The final image is the thing that I'd like. I wouldn't want anyone messing with it, you know. So yeah, I'm a geek for the tech, but I don't know if I could hand over the power. But yeah, cheers. I guess just when you do a show or something, when it doesn't quite hit the mark, or you notice the difference. Then you know there isn't as many emails, the phone isn't jumping up, you're not getting text messages from old friends. There's just a subtle difference. You know, you're not getting texts from my dad going, "Oh, you're in the papers today," or you know, just things aren't moving at the same pace. I could tell pretty early on, maybe by episode 3, that something was just slightly different about this. We had just made a connection with people, and people were digging our show. I mean, you could just feel it, I suppose. I don't know.
I was still hiding behind the sofa at episode 3. I was terrified. I don't know. I think it was just really nice to hear that the public really liked what they were seeing, and
but it did feel different though, didn't it? Like it did feel like that. It did feel like it really kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it was more than just because it was getting on the front page of the papers as well, wasn't it? That's
all that.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that did it. It was when politicians' heads started being superimposed onto Ross's body that we suddenly began to realise that maybe something was, you know, had caught the imagination. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure of the dates, but I know we're not getting into too far into autumn. So, I mean, just having weather that we can hear the other actors and not be blown away. I know we've covered that already. It sounds quite dull, but to get some of the weather that we got maybe the first year would be quite nice again, because that was just so glorious. And just seeing the place again. I mean, I miss it, and you build a relationship with it so quickly because it is quite small, and we know our little places, and it grows on you an awful lot, and it's so stunning and lovely. So I just can't wait to get down there again. I miss it.
I'm looking forward to having fish and chips.
I mean, nothing too rude, but you do get, people do give you email, 2 phone numbers. If I'm abroad, it might be this number. It's like, you know, there's a high probability that I won't be calling you, and you kind of think, what about all these phone numbers? And then it'll certainly smell of perfume as well, and different things like that. But nothing rude. I mean, I've never received anything like, you know, naughty or rude like that, but just a bit cheeky like that. Yeah. What about you?
No, nothing naughty or rude. I just get
Why
really
not?
nice.
What's going on?
Maybe I should take my shirt off and sign. I don't know. I get really nice letters and some nice presents. I get a lot of letters for him saying, "Just give this to Aidan when you next see him." And people ask me, like, if I bump into people, they're always like, "Where's Aidan?" I'm like, "Oh, I just tied him up outside." It's obscene. I think people don't realise that we are 2 different people.
Wow.
But we're not married.
We're not married.
Yeah.
We don't go to the supermarket on a horse.
Well, we do sometimes.
Let's go to